and we had a new spokesman. And he came in, I met him, Christian Fittipaldi here. And then we also get some stuff in Texas with exotic cars as well. Christian is an accomplished driver. He, I don't know if everybody knows, he raced some Minardi's and got him fourth place, which was a big deal back then. Also Footworks. Got them the fourth place as well, which was a big deal. And then he raced IndyCar, Rookie of the Year. He raced Sebring, which this is the most important one. He won the 12-hour Sebring. And then he also won the IMSA Championship. I think you have 4 Rolexes, Daytonas? Or 3, sorry, 3. Yeah. 3 Daytonas. And, I've known him for, now like 12 years. So happy to have him out. He'll hopefully be a character. We flew him in from Brazil, and he'll be out here from time to time helping our members. And if you have any questions on anything, he's perfect. So, do you have any famous people that you know that you're related to?
Yeah, I do. You. So, hey everyone, I'm really happy to be here. As Paul mentioned, yeah, we know each other for a couple of years right now. I have to put up with you for a bunch of years. It's okay, it's always a pleasure. Yeah, racing has pretty much been in my blood. I would say since when I was born, back in the days in the 70s with my dad and my uncle. Emerson won the Formula 1 championship 2 times, and then my dad, as a driver, he did a little bit of Formula 1, and then he decided to build the Formula 1 cars. He was a lot more into the cars and the actual driving itself, although he was also, in my opinion, a very, very good race car driver. And then his dream was to do a fully 100% Brazilian Formula 1 car, and Emerson drive it, obviously because they were brothers. And yeah, they did that from 75 until 82. And unfortunately, Formula 1 is very high standard, a lot of money and everything. And at one point, we were struggling to find sponsorships, and we kept on going and going and going. And basically, we lost everything, and we had to shut down the team and pretty much start all over again. At that point, I was born. They gave me a tennis racket, but my parents weren't very successful at that, and I started racing in '81. I raced professionally until 2019, and it has been a trip. Like, I'm very, very thankful to everyone I have met, to everything I learned, not only on the track, but outside of the track, and it has been a really, really cool journey, and obviously I'm here right now doing other activities. I don't drive professionally anymore. Every now and then, if there's a race here or there, maybe I'll do it, especially down in Brazil, because I'm living there, but not professionally. And whatever I can help out, because a lot of people helped me throughout my career, and if I can help other people out right now, I think this is the time to do it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And then, did you? I know that Sebring is your most favorite track in the whole wide world, and this is where you love to be.
No, I didn't say that. It's very challenging. And Sebring is very temperamental. It changes a lot. Like, you go out at 8 o'clock in the morning, you have a lot of grip in the car. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to kill everyone today. And then you don't touch the car. You go out at 2 in the afternoon, it's sliding all over the place. You're bitching, moaning, complaining, and no one knows anything anymore about race cars. That's how the cookie crumbles over here. And then you go out again at the end of the day, and then suddenly the car lights up again. But Sebring has definitely been a challenge. I won this race in 2015, finished another couple of times on the podium, but I think the most challenging thing at Sebring is the last couple of hours at night. Like, it's very, very dark out there, and there's not a lot of reference points, which you do get in other places that you run at night, and it can be really dangerous, especially if it's rainy at the end of the race. Trust me, it's not fun at all. when you're driving in Sebring at night in the winter.
Or in the rain too.
And then,
We when we first started out our first year, we had the IMSA lighting. So Sebring came to us and said, Paul, we don't really have a February date for you, but we can give you a night event, and you guys can race under lights just like we do at the 24-hour race. And we were like, oh yeah, this is going to be the greatest thing in the world. So everybody showed up, and I think Joe, you were here, right? And everybody pulled in right as soon as dusk was over, and that was the end of our night. We had I think no one went out after the sunset and it was dark. It was just that was it. It was over. So we don't look for that on our schedule. We will never be doing that again. No matter how many lights they say they have, it's over.
yeah, as you mentioned, Paul, it can be very challenging. Daytona is different. I would say it's less hard than Sebring, although traffic there is a lot more intense than here. Usually we get about 65 cars at the start of the race over there. Here, between high 30s and mid 40s, so you have about 20 cars less. And for some reason, the way the layout of the track is, they tend to get a little bit more spread out over here. In Daytona, once the flag drops after 10, 12 laps, you're basically lapping everyone, and you're passing 3-4 cars per lap. And pace there, race pace is very important. But respect the bumps. That's what they say about Sebring. I can see a lot that's going on around this place. Like they're really revamping this place and bringing it up to a next level. And believe it or not, time flies. I started running the small track here when we came testing Indy cars here back in '95. So I did a lot of miles on that little part of the track. And then when I started running sports car, I started running the big track around, I think it was 2006, 2007, something like that. And then ran a bunch of races here.
What's your favorite international track in Europe or whatever?
International, I would say South Africa, Kyalami. That's really, really unique track. As far as energy is concerned, I would say Le Mans. It's very special. Like as soon as you're driving into a place, we had the debate. The Monaco debate, yeah, the races are boring there and everything, but I tell you one thing, like qualifying in Monaco and really running it on the ragged edge is something really special. And it's one of those things that when you get the lap right, although it's only a 1 minute 12 or 10 or 13 lap, which is relatively short, once you start the lap and you cross the start finish, and during the lap it almost takes forever. It seems that you're on a trip for about 2 hours, because although you're going very fast, everything in your mind goes really slow, because I can't screw up, I can't hit the arm pull here, I can't do this, I can't do that. And my first visit there, I remember Alesi telling me, like, he said, you're gonna see, you're gonna hit the arm pull about 3-4 times during the race and everything. I said, you're full of bullshit. No way. Like, if you hit the arm pull, you're probably gonna destroy the car. And yeah, I didn't hit it 3-4, but I hit it good 2 times during the race. And then after the race was over, I went up to him and said, yeah, you were right.
So, anybody have any questions for Christian? I know he's also raced NASCAR. He raced NASCAR for Richard Petty. That's kind of how he came into the fold with the Richard Petty driving experience, the exotic driving experience. And then he also raced semi trucks down in Brazil. Huge semis.
That was, I don't consider that racing. That was an adventure. But yes, like semis are pretty competitive down in Brazil. They have a very, very cool series down there, and they do it also in Europe. And the trucks that I drove weighed 4,000 pounds. 4,000 kilos, which is about 8,000, roughly 8,000 pounds. and they were generating about a little bit over 1,000 horsepower. You had a pretty decent punch coming out of the corners, but they are completely different to driving whatever we're driving today over here. It's another different set of skills that you need to sort of develop.
So this series that you have started, it'd be fun to let everybody know about that. And is it televised? Is there every place we can watch it?
Oh no, stock cars down in Brazil, yeah, I'm also involved with that. It has been on since 79, I think, 78, 79. And it's pretty big. It's the most popular series that there is in the country right now. You have drivers that were ex-F1s like Zonta, Fittipaldi, Rubens, and some more that have been like traveling all over the world and racing different series that they decided to go back to Brazil and they are racing that series and we are 34 cars if I'm not mistaken and sometimes we go to some places that the grid between the first and the last is about a second difference. Like it's incredibly tight and it's very, very competitive and really professional.
And you're also the Formula One commentator for the Brazil feed, correct? For Formula One. So if you guys speak Portuguese and want to watch Formula One race in Portuguese, it'll be Christian doing your color analyst.
Well, I had my April was off because of obvious reasons. There weren't
Right.
any Formula One races. They're like messing around with the new regs, and hopefully it's going to be all set up for Miami. But yeah, that's it. I had done this with IndyCars in ESPN Brazil for the last 4 years. And then this year, when it went back to Global TV is our big network. I got the opportunity to go together with them, and this has been something new to me right now doing Formula One. But it has been nice. And the cool thing about it is that when you're analyzing a situation, it's not that you need to study because as I have pretty much done that my whole life. Yeah, I can get it wrong. We're living and learning. We learn every day, but once you look at the situation, at least you have an opinion about it, and you don't need to go back home, do your homework, or think about it and everything. You can immediately say your opinion about it, and usually we tend to be right. Sometimes we screw up also, but and that has been pretty fun also. And on top of that, with Nelson Piquet Jr. and myself, we have a podcast, and that airs every Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the evening. That we have been doing it for 2.5 years right now. We had a bunch of ex-F1 drivers, a bunch of ex-WEC and IMSA guys, and then local talents also swing by. Max Verstappen and also Bortoleto, they went to the podcast. Bortoleto has been about 3 times already with us, but Max was there with us at the end of last year. Then we bring some very iconic people that have worked with Formula One, engineers and reporters and photographers, and right now it's going really well. And as far as raw, pure racing is concerned, we're probably like the #1 podcast down in Brazil that only talks about racing, not like automotive industry in general. Obviously, there are people that are a lot bigger than us, but again, I'm doing the transition from an ex-driver to what's next in my life, and I think I'm taking it pretty well because, in my opinion, everything in life has a beginning, middle, and end. And the racing car driver came to an end chapter. I was lucky enough to finish it off exactly on my terms, and I think that made all the difference in the world, because when you're sort of kicked out of the situation, I think it's a lot harder for a driver. But I wanted to do my last race in Daytona. I managed to do my last race in Daytona. Everything was announced 6 months prior, and so I can't be more thankful to all the people involved, and also for the opportunity that they gave me to be able to do that.
Hey, thank you very much, Christian. And he'll be around later today if you guys have any questions for him. And thank you again for flying all the way up from Brazil to be here.
It's not all the way up, it's only an 8-hour flight. We go to California, we take what, 6 hours to get? Just another extra 2 hours. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.